Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Tyler, and today we're going to be doing what if Naruto learned wind release earlier. Specifically, it's going to be during the time where he's training with Jiraiya, and instead of obviously just learning summoning and learning a little bit of controlling with the Nine Tails, he's going to be able to, use wind release. With that basic premise out of the way, guys, I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and let's try to hit 40k by the end of the year, because the original goal was 50k, but yeah, we quite didn't really hit the mark, but I do want to get the next best thing, which is 40k. So that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right into this video, and I genuinely hope you guys enjoy. Now, let's begin.
Hey, collecting rings like a Sonic. Bitches wanna party. My wrist getting heavy, so got 'em on a diet, yeah. Flex like I'm Hogan. Yo, bitch coming over. Yeah, we respect.
Okay, so the first thing we really need to dive into is what is Naruto going to learn? Like, what jutsu is he going to learn while, undergoing wind jutsu? He obviously can't use the wind style Rasenshuriken. He doesn't even have the Rasengan yet. And yes, I do understand that. However, Jiraiya did train someone who did have access to the wind chakra nature, Nagato. He was able to use the wind style Gale Palm, right? And Jiraiya is aware of Nagato being able to use this, obviously, since he did train him. So I think Jiraiya would be able to teach Naruto about this. Plus, he's an elite ninja. Like, he would know how to teach Naruto basic chakra nature and basic jutsu like that. Because the Gale Palm isn't even that powerful of a jutsu in itself. So I'm going to be saying here that Naruto would have the wind style Gale Palm. And I think he'll use it in a similar sense to how Boruto did, considering the fact that he's going to be facing up against Neji, who did Bop Hinata. And I think Naruto would take a lesson from Neji or pick up something from him. And I think he would basically try and use taijutsu in unison with his wind style. Jiraiya would teach Naruto that there's really two ways to use wind style. Either basically just speeding up wind and throwing it and like basically making like a vacuum wave like slashes and stuff like that. Or basically using it to propel the opponent away and send them flying. Naruto would first undergo training on how to utilize it in a, like propelling wind, or basically how the wind style Gale Palm in itself works, and then he would try and learn other ways to use it. And he would come up with a similar way to how Boruto was able to utilize wind style and using the Gale Palm, and basically using it in a similar way to how Tamari uses it. But it's completely different in the functioning. See, Tamari throws out wind slashes that basically cut the opponent. Rather, what Naruto uses is, he essentially uses Shadow Clones and Wind Style to basically propel Naruto's Shadow Clones to the opponent, making it a high-speeding blur, plus using it with kunai, which would obviously increase the speed and cutting power of the kunai. It's kind of similar to what Asuma uses, and in this sense, Naruto would be able to utilize not only Wind Chakra, but with his kunai. It's kind of like Asuma's blades, but in Naruto's own mini style. And plus, he doesn't really use this regularly. At that point, Naruto would be ready to go out and fight Neji once and for all, which would then lead into Neji versus Naruto. And honestly, I can see Naruto holding his own a lot better. And I can see the win more so being actually something in Naruto's favor, rather than Neji just stomping him and then Naruto uppercutting him. I think Naruto could maybe clash with Neji's, chakra points or his Hyuga combat style with using his kunais and wind chakra to basically, negate that with his cutting power. Neji can't, pressure point something if he's just going to get cut. So it's honestly a pretty good defense style against the Hyuga. However, all Neji does is to try and get an opening. However, when he tries to get an opening on Naruto, Naruto would copy Neji's style once again and use his own kind of rotation jutsu, but with the wind and kunai. At that point, I can see Naruto either beating Neji in the same way that he did in canon, or actually beating him with the wind and kunai, which I would prefer the second alternative, considering the fact that Naruto just uppercutting him just feels unearned, rather than this time it actually does feel earned. So narratively, it actually is pretty good and actually way more significant. But the results of the fight really don't matter, because we would still get Gaara becoming bloodlusted or whatever, and then Naruto being forced to go and save Sasuke and Sakura. At that point, Naruto would use his wind chakra to basically just amp his cutting power to try and pierce through Gaara's defenses, which doesn't work at first. However, Naruto would just use the 2000 Shadow Clones combined with the wind chakra and kunais, and it would be pretty devastating for Gaara to take, forcing him into the Shukaku state, but Naruto would summon Gamabunta. At this point, the same thing happens as per normal, and Naruto defeats Gaara and Takuno jutsus him, and the whole Konoha Crush arc is pretty much the same. Now, as for Naruto learning the Rasengan, since that would really be the next big change, the only thing I can see changing is maybe Naruto thinking of the concept of the Wind Rasengan, but it's just a little foreshadowing. Now, with that being said, the Sasuke retrieval arc, you could have Naruto, revealing to us that he is able to make a Wind Rasengan, since I think it would narratively be kind of cool, since Chidori is like a Rasengan or a failed Rasengan with lightning, while the Wind Rasengan is a successful Rasengan with Wind Chakra. And this leads into the two brothers clashing with Naruto this time, I think with the added extra power. The results would still be the same, considering the fact that Naruto's whole goal was just to scratch Sasuke's headband. He was already stronger than Sasuke, like he was throwing him around like a rag doll, but this would then force Naruto into, just scratching the headband and not, trying to kill Sasuke, while Sasuke pierces Naruto's lungs and then runs away. This then forces Naruto to train with Jiraiya for under 2.5 years, and during this 2.5 year gap, since Naruto is already experienced in Wind Chakra, he would not only make the Odama Rasengan, or the Omega one, whatever you want to talk about it, it's the big Rasengan, but it's actually not only that, it's the Wind Rasengan plus a pseudo version of the Rasenshuriken. And when I mean pseudo, I mean the version from the Kakuzu arc that, messes up Naruto when he uses it. Obviously, having Naruto being able to throw Rasen Shurikens in his base form, like, I understand that he's training for 2.5 years, but I think the Rasen Shuriken, like, the full complete version, should come around later. At that point, we would get into the Kazekage rescue mission, which I'm not going to have Naruto use the Odama Rasengan, rather a Wind Rasengan to beat the Itachi clone, and we would get into the Deidara encounter, which would lead into Naruto, being controlled by the Nine Tails, but Kakashi suppressing it and Deidara escaping. Now, the next big change I can see happening is all the way at the end of the Orochimaru arc, where we would see Sasuke, come out of the hideout and facing off against Team 7, soloing all of them, and like in canon, Sasuke would think about using Kirin, but when he does that, Naruto would then get ready to use the Rasenshuriken. Orochimaru would try to stop Sasuke, but Naruto would tell Sasuke to continue, because Naruto and Sasuke both know they need to finish what they started. And at that point, Sasuke would then call upon Kirin, and the Lightning Dragon would then strike down at Naruto while Naruto reacts and throws the Rasenshuriken into the air. Both jutsus are clashing right now, and Naruto's whole arm seems to it's about to be completely atomized. But with the help of Kurama, Kurama is able to kind of amp Naruto up, and I'll say here Sasuke doesn't suppress Kurama yet, so you guys don't have to say anything about that. We'll just say that they do the clash, and Naruto would access Kurama's chakra to help him heal, and this would allow Naruto to get the extra boost he needs to clash with Sasuke. And at that point, both attacks would then disperse, with Naruto barely alive, and Sasuke shocked that his strongest jutsu was negated by Naruto. At that point, Sasuke is ready to pull his sword and get ready to finish off Naruto, but Naruto would already be getting back up, thanks to Kurama and plus his determination itself, and he would get ready to fight. However, Orochimaru and Kabuto both know that they need to get up out of here, so Sasuke and them retreat. At that point, I think the story is kind of similar to in canon, I think Naruto would be recovering, but around the time where Kakashi and Team 10 would be going out, Naruto would already recover, and he would just one-shot Kakuzu with the Rasenshuriken again, and he would just be more critically injured, but once he learned Sage Mode, he would be able to master it down and just throw the Rasenshuriken like it's nothing. And really, the only changes that could happen now are just minor ones, with Naruto using the Wind Rasengan or, Gale Palm or stuff like that. Maybe Naruto can try out his weaker wind attacks against the Raikage and then the Rasenshuriken. But honestly, the story is kind of the same, and the changes in this What If are minor, and I just wanted to do this one-shot What If to, just something to upload. And I did see it get suggested a lot. So there you go, guys. That is the one-shot What If of what if Naruto learned wind style earlier. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to be leaving the What If off, as the story would just all come together similar to in canon, and really only minor changes had happened in the story. You can have Sasuke just questioning to himself why Naruto was able to do that, and he's just, lustful for power, so maybe he can absorb Orochimaru earlier, but really that's the only minor change I could see happening. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to be leaving this What If off. And if you guys did enjoy this What If, let me know down below. Also, subscribe if you are new and hit the notification bell. We are so close to 40K. And yeah, that way you are notified and updated every time I upload. Hit the notification bell, obviously. And share with your friends. Like the video. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord. You guys already know. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to catch you on the next video. Peace out. Have a nice day, everybody.